So I'm making this video here today. Been meaning to make this video for a minute. Don't mind the place looks a little messy. We didn't have power for 7-8 days in Nashville due to this crazy ice storm. So just got back. It's still cold in the house. It's wearing my beanie. It's pretty cool. It's got my bourbon brand on there. Boone's Bourbon. Got the puppy right here. You can't see him. He's on my lap. But anyway, back in the house here in Nashville. But been meaning to make this video for a minute. Been watching other people making them, and just kind of want to get better at it. The video I want to make is about people looking to get how do you make a lot of streams on streaming platforms. I have around 20 million on Spotify, and then I have like 75 million on YouTube, and just kind of wanted to put it out there that it's not that hard to do it. I mean, it does take work, but you have to do it every day. The way that I've done it, and if you're trying to get into it, is let's just talk about YouTube, because honestly I think that one's easier. And I've never really thought I'd have any success on YouTube. Now my channel's monetized. I get thousands of views all the time. Sometimes I get millions a day, depending if something kind of takes off. But for YouTube, if you're a musical artist, the way you can do it is you can, having a channel, consider the YouTube shorts. They're just like Instagram, and they're just like TikTok, and they're all competing with each other. And the beauty of it is YouTube Shorts is, they're encouraging it. And so if you have music through the DSPs, if you guys want a better, by the way, to any musicians out there, through my company, our Artist Formula, if you're looking for a better distribution deal, I can get you one. I get no kickback from it. I just, there's people that we work with that offer it, and you don't need to be on the small guys like DistroKid. My whole back catalog is on TuneCore. It still is. I'm moving it off there. But TuneCore just got bought out a couple years ago. CDB, like all these guys are getting bought out because all these platforms are becoming data companies, and they just want the data. And so, and also think about this too. If you're a little older, if you remember the craft beer boom, what I'm getting at is like 15 years ago, craft breweries everywhere, especially when I was in college. And before college, just craft beer was huge because, oh my gosh, this isn't a Budweiser or a Bud Light. Back in the 90s, Budweiser was 19 out of 20 beers, any bar you went into, and then all of a sudden it wasn't craft beer. And so what I'm getting at is the market share changed, and so the big guys came in, and now all the major craft breweries are owned by either a huge conglomerate or the big guys. Well, music industry's gone the same way. 50% of music now consumed is independent. So back in the day, the only music you consumed was someone else to a label. And so, it was kind of like a, magic in a bottle. If you got signed, you were basically probably gonna end up having some kind of career, because the only music consumed is the ones that, you had to be signed to be created, right? And so anyway, what I'm getting at is all these smaller guys are getting bought out, and they're doing takedowns like crazy. And so the reason when they do the takedowns, because is if they do see a bump and you have no bumps on anywhere, and you find someone like playlisting like we do and others, and I'll get you can do playlisting yourself. It's not that hard to do. You just gotta have some capital to do it. But what I'm getting at is when they see the bump go up, whether or not it's real, it's happening all the time now. If it is real and you still get the takedown, it's because they see it. They don't have the manpower to investigate or the technology usually. There's thousands of 120,000 songs drop a day. And so what I'm getting at is there's 1,000 artists out there. And so when they see the bump, if by any chance it is fake, they get a huge fine from the DSPs, right? And so if you get a big fine from the DSPs as a distributor, that's no good. And so they unfortunately are now putting everybody in under this umbrella of it could be fake, could be real. We don't know. We're not going to pay you. And so, DistroKid probably has, if you just Google DistroKid not paying people, it's like a rabbit hole. They probably have I would assume they have a class action lawsuit coming their way one day, But, these I call them my delivery boys, these distributors, they just get you out to the DSPs. And if you're not trying to be like a big artist and you're an artist and you want to put your art out, it's good for you. But if it's, you trying to be an artist, you're going to start investing money in your career, it's all about saves. It's all about getting playlisted on thousands of playlists out there. What I'm getting at is if you're going to invest in it and then you're going to get a takedown, that's no good. And so anyway, I'll put it down here in the video. You can hit me up. I help people all the time, because if you're going to be doing playlisting with us, I don't want you to spend the money, and I'm telling you, hey, you might get takedown, you might not, and then you get it, and if they delete you, you lose all your saves, all the data is gone. And so it's like all that investment's for nothing. So anyway, but with the YouTube stuff, and it's good to have a good distributor for it too, because you want to make sure that you're mapped correctly out there for YouTube Shorts. And so what I do is all the time I take my music, and I put it on Shorts, and I use Opus Clips. There's a lot of good AI programs out there, but Opus Clips, I use that one mainly, and I take my long form videos and I put them out, and it goes to every social platform. Next thing you know, it takes off on YouTube, or maybe it's on TikTok or Instagram, or Facebook. Don't sleep on Facebook. There's a lot of people on it, and that's an older crowd. They have money. But anyway, what I'm getting at is for YouTube Shorts. So what I also do is I take, funny videos or viral videos, and I put my song behind it. And next thing you know, that's what people consume. They consume internet stuff. They don't necessarily always consume like a music video or you singing your guitar. Honestly, that kind of turns me off sometimes. I'm sure it turns people off all the time because everyone's doing it. Now, if it's your favorite artist, hell yeah, that's great. But if you're just some random artist doing it, people are like, oh, I see this all the time. And, I've even heard on podcasts of artists that I admire and love. They're like, oh, man, when I see that, I just kind of keep going. Well, the trick now is, is like trending, right? And we actually do this at Artist Formula. We can get your song top 50 sounds of the world. We know how to do it. We post you correctly to do it. And you got to post a lot. And so what I do with my YouTube, it's the same thing for Instagram. And Instagram, I do this as well all the time. Something takes off, and next thing you know, it's kind of a viral moment. But with YouTube, I just post my music on YouTube Shorts all the time. I find videos. You got to make sure it's not like a copyright video. You can't be using someone else's content. If it's pretty much like a widely known meme that everyone's sharing, that's usually pretty safe. And I'm not saying you want to do this for the rest of your life, right? But it's a really good method of just getting your music out there, because how many times have you seen, and we still hear the same sounds all the time, call them sounds, like on Shorts, on Instagram Reels or TikToks, is you hear the same sound, and it's like, it's funny, or it's like whimsical, or it's sad, and that's what people use on stuff, right? And so, I'm not gonna say any artists we've worked with, but my single Hallelujah, it's a cover of that song. We did that last October, November, and it went absolutely crazy. It went nuts on Instagram, it went nuts on YouTube. Millions of views on Instagram, millions of views on YouTube, millions of views on YouTube Music, because it was in these shorts, and it went absolutely crazy. And I got millions of streams on YouTube Music from it, and now I'm 2 million monthly listeners all the time on YouTube Music. And I'm a nobody. So that's what I do for YouTube. I'm up to 75. I'll probably be, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably be like 300 million, maybe 500 million by the end of the year. Is what I'm guessing, because I do this constantly. I never want to take the gas off, because I don't know, maybe it leads to something. I'm about to find out how much money this starts making, because all those millions of views happened last year, and so I get paid every quarter. So we'll start seeing. I have a label, Vance, I'm in. It's done in like 6-7 months. So eventually I'm gonna start getting the money back, and I can actually look at the reports, and it's gonna be great. But it's a free thing to do. So anyone should, if you're an artist, don't sleep on YouTube Shorts. Post your stuff all the time, for sure. Do long form videos like this, because they're important. But YouTube Shorts, there's a subscribe button at the bottom, and that's how people are getting subscribers. You're kind of going viral, and it could be A through Z, and it's F, and that's what makes you pop off, and you just never know, right? And so that's what I do for YouTube Shorts. That's how I've gotten 75 million. It might be like 79 million now. I still get like a couple million a month. And if you don't know the difference, there is a difference. There's YouTube and there's YouTube Music. So go look at that app. It's also free online. It's like I think they might have beat Apple Music. I could be wrong, but YouTube Music is gunning for Spotify. But for Spotify, this is obviously the most popular one. The way that I've done it since 2017, in Artist Formula, we partnered with a company over in Europe, and we're still one of our partners, still working with them literally every day for our clients and for myself, is we made playlists with ads. And there's some great guys on YouTube that talk about this, what they call meta ads. These are just Instagram. Back in the day, obviously what we called it. And you take these playlists and you make them look very official, very famous music in it. It's got to be like 500 million to 1 billion streams, like, an Ed Sheeran. If it's like a soft pop hits list, Ed Sheeran, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, some John Mayer now, he's up in the billions. Maroon 5, 100%. Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, always one of the biggest. Post Malone, that's a no-brainer. And you litter it with all these famous music, and 1, 2, 3, then it's you as the artist or the client, whatever you're doing with. And so there's AI programs out there now. There's one called Hype Edit, which is amazing, because back in the day when we did this, we would sit there and look at the click in the biggest clicking countries in the world. It's how you run it, because you'll burn through your cache so quickly you run this in the United States. And then we would sit there and we used to have to edit and go, oh, it's dipping, I got to fix it. Go to the playlist, oh, the music's not famous anymore, or let me refresh it, right? Now, if you go to Hype Edit, it's one of them. It's an AI program where it sets up to your Spotify. And if you can spend, I'm not even kidding you, like $300 a month, that's a pretty good ad through it. It's not huge, but if you have 100 songs, you name it a very somewhat official, a popular thing. Some people out there, there's a list out there we use called Guardians of the Galaxy. There's classic rock, there's TikTok, all these names, indie rock, soft pop hits, road trip, indie rock. There's all these very popular names, and that's what we do. And then we put the very famous music on it, and we run ads on it for clients and for ourselves. And so I get added between like 50,000 playlists a year, individual playlist ads, because people see your song, they save it, and they might add it to their personal. It's one follower. Those usually don't show up in Insights. But I've been doing it for so long, that's why I have millions. And then eventually I have so many saves. I'm on so many playlists. I still, everybody ebbs and flows. But that's why I have millions of streams. And, now what I believe, people in the Western Hemisphere, America, where everybody wants to be popular mainly, and it's, that's where, I live in Nashville, is no one really wants to follow you unless they absolutely fall in love with you. But some people are like, oh, no one listens to them. It's kind of like a surface level thing. And so that's why I think eventually once you start doing this placing stuff, you begin to start getting a lot of people in the United States. So it's great. And then what I do with the money when I get it back, I just put it back in the ad, because I don't ever want to be looking low, because what are most artists doing in the United States or all over the world? They want to play shows. And so when you submit to something, your social media, they might Google you, look at their website. Oh, they're on Rolling Stone. That's great. But then they go look at your Spotify because it's got the ticker on it. And so that is a good indicator to make me look like you're active, right? And so that's how I've done it. You guys can contact me below, Tyler@artistform.com. I might start doing some courses again. I used to teach people how to do it. I might start doing that again. I'm gonna start teaching people how to do YouTube monetization again. I got some clients the other day. But this isn't a video for me to try and get you guys to hire me. I just thought this would be a really cool video to talk about, hey, how did I get 75 million streams on YouTube Music? How did I have 20 million? Oh, and here's the beauty of what I didn't finish earlier, and I'll end it here, is my Hallelujah cover. When we got that song trending in Top 50 Sounds on Instagram, it went nuts on Spotify, went nuts on YouTube, but also went nuts on Pandora, I guess. Because it went nuts, I don't know, because that's kind of a Christmas song. It's kind of not, but it kind of is, because it's kind of spooky and like, Ebenezer Scrooge sounding Hallelujah, I guess. And it got added to all these official Pandora Christmas playlists, and it did like 1 million streams in like 2 months. And so now it's still going crazy. I've never really had a lot of crazy success on Pandora. I work with the Pandora guys a lot as an artist, and those guys are awesome. You guys should never sleep on Pandora either. It's only American. If you're a United States person watching this, it's only United States. So if someone's listening to you, it's in the USA. It's not a different country. If you're trying to tour like we all are, that's good. So, but anyway, I always feel like I ramble here. This feels like I'm on the phone with someone talking to them about, all this stuff we do with RS Formula. But I just want to put it out there, and people are always upset, like, oh, this is hard. Well, yeah, it's hard, but it's also just got to be consistent. And if you could be consistent for 1 year and look back at where you were a year before, and that's just not just music, that's any career, right? And if music you want it to be a career, treat it as a business. Yeah, man, there's gonna be times where it's not fun, but you know what? If you're an actual artist and this is what you want to do, then this is it, man, because the music industry has changed. It's all about the internet. And that's okay, because now you have the opportunities to be an artist. Back in the day, you had to get signed. And people are like, oh, I got to get a label, Nah, man, you don't. You just need a really good distribution deal to make sure you're getting collected correctly and you're not getting deleted. And what these bigger guys do is if there is a fraudulent thing going on, they'll just contact you and be like, hey, we're not going to pay on this a little bit, but we're not deleting it. And that's what you need. You need a partner, an actual distribution partner, not just a delivery boy. So anyway, I'm gonna keep making more videos like this. It's fun. And whoever watched the video of us not being in the ice storm, appreciate all those comments. That was really cool. Yeah, man, it was crazy. 7 days, we got back in today. It's still 50 degrees in the house. That's why I'm wearing this, but we're happy to be home. It would have been cool to be home for the snow, but I got to leave Monday for a Boone's Bourbon trip in Arizona. But it's called the Mixologer. It's where we sell our bourbon online. So anyway, I'll make some more videos with the bourbon. I need to do it because I've always wanted to. But anyway, this channel's about music. My thoughts on the music industry. I'll talk about the bourbon stuff. Never want this to be a negative channel. I want it to be about just positive, cool music, bourbon, beer. We make a beer too, stuff, and just cool topics. So super appreciate you. Here's Kingston. He's a cute boy, and we'll talk to you soon.